the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We're inviting people to join the Bling sisters, bringing entertainers from around the world. We help you find places to go. We sell you the jewelry to take you there. Glam up, accessorize. Let's get out of the living room and out on the town.
Up and down the 101, glamorized party and having fun.
Sonoma, Santa Rosa, Bodega Bay, Windsor, Katani, Roner Park, Petaluma, Hillsburg.
We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We talk, we chat, we have conversations with interesting people from around the Bay.
Come on, join the Bling sisters. Let them sell you jewelry that'll make your day.
We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party.
Okay, and we are back. I'm going to, everyone hear us? I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are
The Bling Sisters.
And this is March 11th, and we are coming to you live from the heart of Sonoma County. And we interview people, we interview actors and musicians. We've had 101 people so far, including Rudy Colombini, Susan Linner Bramlett, Solomon Hicks, Andre Taylor, Sally Kirkland, Barry the Fish Melton, oh my gosh, Walter Trout, Carl Wyatt. All right, we've had a ton of people. So tonight we have guest number 102.
102.
102, Joshua Bluegreen Cripps.
Are you sure that's not Blue Violet Cripps?
Blue Violet? I don't know. Blue green.
Okay. Just asking.
What would a blue green
get my
be?
colors
Aqua?
straight.
Joshua Aqua?
Could be. Joshua Aqua. It's got a ring to it.
No, we're playing with you.
We're just kidding.
Joshua is an event and entertainment producer. He plays the trumpet. He's a professional magician, a promoter, and a performer. He started his Bluegreen production company in 1999, and he is currently event coordinator for Petaluma Pride, and he was voted Best Live DJ 2 years, 2017 to 2022. So anyway, and he was voted by the Boho, the Bohemian, so Reader's Choice Award. So welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Doing real good.
Yeah. Everybody
Quite the
hear us
intro,
okay?
thank you.
Okay, sound is on.
I
Yes.
used to work with a child in a nonprofit, and he was always trying to get me to rebrand the Blue Green. He was always, how about gray brown? How about black orange? Like every single time, he was trying to get me to figure out two other colors. So you're not out of line with that.
Okay.
So yeah, but blue green has a certain ring to it.
The colors of the earth.
That's right.
Made for an easy logo.
That is correct.
That is right.
So Joshua, did you grow up in a musical family? I mean, you started playing the trumpet at how young?
I was in the normal fourth grade, but I got good really quick and was very prodigious. And within a year was competing and kind of leading the band. And then I was teaching trumpet by the time I was 14.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my mom plays piano and played flutes, and she taught piano and so forth. But it was my Nana who paid for the trumpets and that kind of stuff. And she wasn't really musical, but she loves classical music. And I grew up hearing classical music and hymns and just you know, a lot of that kind of classic music. I just grew up with, you know, that being the norm.
So
So
you just
surrounded by music.
picked up a trumpet and thought, yeah, it sounds pretty good, or did you
Yeah, it's
try
weird.
It's
other
not the usual the usual instrument to pick up
piano,
and
guitar?
just run with it, you know, and say.
I
And
know.
I've been studying your videos, and they're quite original. I
Thank
really
you.
like the way you've done things. I like the Vivaldi with where you
Oh,
do
yeah.
both parts
two
of the
trumpets, yeah.
concerto.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising how far I've been able to take just playing trumpet. It's usually you need to play like electric guitar or something to kind of get the kind of attention. It certainly surprises me as well too. It's kind of funny.
That's wonderful.
But I've often thought, you know, if only I could play electric guitar or something like that. I think that's where, you know, the DJing has sort of fulfilled some of that main stage type of, you know, hunger. But, you know, to go back to your question, I was in fourth grade and just, you know, took off for whatever reason and got really good. I feel like the trumpet chose me because I just pointed at it in the music store window and essentially, and then for whatever reason, it was like fate. Got super good and had training and had a teacher from the San Francisco Opera who taught me early on. And so I think part of it was training, and I was forced to practice. You know, grandma made me practice when I didn't want to. And I encourage parents to do that with their kids. You kind of have to.
Yeah, you
You
do. Yeah, little,
kinda
kids are
do.
little slackers, you know.
Yeah.
If you
They
let 'em
can be.
slide.
Some kids are just look at Lalo. He is just meant to go.
Yeah,
He
some-
goes. I'm sure he was like that as a kid.
So you started with classical trumpet, and you
Well, band music, you know, band,
band
music.
music.
But yeah, very quickly I was competing with like classical music by the time I was in fifth and sixth grade, winning solo festivals. Very quickly I was winning prizes and awards. And then by the time I was in I was seventh grade, I was the first chair trumpet in what was then called the preliminary orchestra,
oh my
which
gosh.
is Santa Rosa Symphony's starter orchestra. And then by the time I was in eighth grade, I was principal chair of the youth orchestra at Santa Rosa Symphony Youth Orchestra and maintained that chair all the way through high school. So never was de-seated.
De-seated.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a word, but
It sounds
so-
good.
It's I don't know. It's,
It's
a
language
Scrabble word.
abuse, actually.
Yeah,
My
language.
philosopher professor said. Do not make up
Language.
words.
Language.
you're not allowed to say that one.
Yeah.
No, well, you can say it. We can do it here, but not in my philosophy class.
Oh my God. So I played with Santa Rosa Symphony as a guest when I was 13, and that was something they did for proficient students.
Okay.
And then I actually subbed with Santa Rosa Symphony by the time I was 16, which was kind of rare. And then played with, I was lead chair at the Berkeley Orchestra for a summer by the time I was 17.
Yeah. Yeah. That I
So,
mean, with the UC
I didn't-
Berkeley Symphony. Wow.
Lots of classical music.
Do you audition for all these, or do they say,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, yeah?
Oh yeah. In fact, in those days, it was really cutthroat. When auditioning for all-state honor bands, or I played in the Sugar Bowl when I was 16
Right.
in the field show with school. And in the auditions to get the parts, there would be all sorts of mind games and intimidation games the trumpet players would play. And looking back, it's so crazy. But we would pull out our hardest things to psych other people out, to psych each other out in the warm-up room.
Uh-huh.
And so people would be playing as fast and high, and you know, some of the kids would kind of crumble. They'd walk into their audition more nervous because of the games that everybody played in the warm-up room. It was
Well, hey,
crazy.
you gotta set the bar high. You know, you
Oh my
really do. You
God,
have to
though.
give you gotta give people something to go for.
Are we?
too crazy.
Too
Yeah, the intimidation stuff. It was nerve-wracking. I'm glad to just be in the professional music world now and not be part of all those kiddie games. You know.
Oh, it's so nice to grow up and get out of high school.
Yeah.
And so I want to throw this in. So you were also you started doing magic at age 6, and you were
That's when I first started learning. Yeah.
So what made you pick up magic at age
Doing magic
6?
tricks? Well, when I was a kid, I was always just a little showman. You know, I was like, ta-da, putting on shows with the neighbor kids.
Yeah.
And I think by the time I was 6, I was producing shows. Maybe all kids do this. I don't know. But for me, it was a norm. We were producing shows, I think to kind of a next level, though. It was one of our main forms of play was producing shows and making popcorn and that kind of stuff. And the neighbor kids and my grandma babysat And so she took care of me. And so we would put shows on for the neighbors and the babysitting kids. And that was one thing we just did all the time. And I was kind of the ringleader. And so magic, though, at 6 years old, I believe, again, my grandma bought me a magic kit for Easter. And it was a little bit on a whim, but I had always loved magic, like most kids. I think boys love magic a lot.
Yeah.
And again, I dedicated myself to it. I got really good at it. I started going to the library and renting or whatever, borrowing books, whatever you do at the library.
You borrow,
and doing it and practicing it and applying myself and learning all these crazy card tricks and all this stuff. And so every Christmas and every birthday, I would start to get, $40, $50, $60 tricks, like a single magic trick that was like $50, maybe $100. As my family saw that I was really dedicated. And so at a certain point, I started to make a dove appear out of fire. By the time I was like 10 or 11.
A dove out of the flaming pan.
Yeah. So just on holidays, I would get magic tricks for gifts. And then by the time I was 16 years old or 15, I invested money I had made. I started professionally at 11. The first time I got paid for magic was at 11 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So I saved my money and I spent it on $800 worth of magic tricks when I was 15, I think. And bought the zigzag illusion, which you cut a lady in 3. And I bought a sword box where you make a woman appear and disappear and fill her with swords.
Right.
So I invested my magic money and then I performed that at my high school graduation and was one of the featured entertainment there and made actually one of my girlfriends from a few years prior appear and disappear and then cut her in 3.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
still have those tricks. I need a lovely assistant too. I need somebody I'll put the call out over this. I need a lovely assistant, could be man, could be woman, 5'4" to 5'6". And I'm actually recruiting, I'd like to redo the zigzag illusion. So if there's somebody out there who's 5'4" to 5'6", are you 5'4" to 5'6"?
Yes, we both are.
Are you really?
No, I'm 5'3".
I'm
Are you?
5'2".
And she's 5'2".
It might work. I supposedly the guy who sold it to me said 5'4" to 5'6". I've never really tested it on outside that. But yeah, maybe we should do that. We could do a little feature and you could put it on one of your future podcasts.
It would be live.
That would be
that would be
fun.
fun.
We'll do
Magic
it.
with Joshua.
Let us acknowledge some audience members.
Okay, we have people watching.
We've got Natalie Martell, who's woohoo!
Sound is on.
And then Daniel Mountain Tuller. Hello. Wait, did the performance...
Oh, I know Daniel. One of my faithful followers.
Oh, excellent. Did the lineup list mention a guy named Tony Saunders? If so, he's one of my BFFs. So, yes, Tony Saunders did write our theme song. And the Blue Note band from Napa,
Yes.
the house band,
Yes.
was the performing band.
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
Anyway, Hannah Hunaidi?
Oh, yeah. Hanan Hunady. Yeah, she's the
Hunan.
president.
Oh,
She's the
So
president.
she's our special spot today. She's the
She
president
is.
of Petaluma Pride. We're going to find out more about Hanan in a little bit.
we'll actually run that right after this, I think.
Okay. All right.
Sounds
Okay.
good. What's up, Hanan?
Hanan says,
I
I
can't
know
see
this
you, but
guy.
it's good to see you.
I know
Yeah,
this guy.
Rebecca Peterson
Rebecca.
says, hi, Josh.
Hi, Rebecca. She helped me recently with some financials. So thank you to Rebecca Peterson.
Oh, Rebecca.
Yeah, she's a good
awesome.
helper.
She's awesome. I love her.
Yeah.
Hi,
And
Crowbar.
replying to Daniel, we've got, Daniel says, I had no idea. That's incredible. So I'm not sure what he's referring to. Hi, happy it's working now, Shelby Baker says. And Daniel Mountain Tuller, indeed, hey, Joshua. And that's all I'm saying right now for comments.
Okay. All right. Well.
But let us talk a little bit about Petaluma Pride and Hanan.
Sounds good. Yeah, so what was it? I guess it was the year before last. I'm confused with 2020, but I believe Hanan had reached out to me at the end of 2019. I think that fall or autumn. And we sat down and discussed my coming on board. She was searching for people to help her vision, which you'll hear about more. We have a spot coming up, so I
Yes.
won't duplicate too much of it. She'll kind of explain in her own words how she decided that she wanted to produce the first Pride event in Petaluma and raise visibility and encourage safe spaces and just kind of normalize what it is that some of us have had to deal with. And, you know, some of us are old enough to have been through where it was not normalized. It may seem like it is now, and it's really largely not now. If you talked, you know, if you know the youth that are going through stuff, there's a lot of people still really afraid for anybody to know what they're going through. There's a lot of people who are on the DL, as we call it in the gay community. And those are guys who are secret. They're still closeted. The new term is kind of DL. And it's really, really rampant, very like incredibly rampant. You know, the only reason they're so scared is because of what people will think or whatever.
Well, and what they do. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. You just want to be yourself.
Well,
Indeed.
yeah,
Be
just want to
accepted,
be,
you know, just be
Just wanna
accepted
be.
for who you are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I think we should just go ahead and run this now.
All right, here we go.
Thank
We're
you, Joshua. Here we go.
2 minutes.
Hi, my name's Hanan Hunady. I am the founder and president of Petaluma Pride. A couple of years ago, I started noticing that there wasn't very much representation for the LGBTQ plus community in Petaluma. That was really concerning to me because as a teacher and as a parent, I know the importance of representation in your own community, feeling accepted, feeling embraced, feeling safe. As someone who came out later in life, I also know how scary it can be to tell people that you're gay, that you're queer. I was outed in high school and it scared me so far back into the closet that I didn't come out for quite a long time. I do think for myself, if I knew that there were others like me, if there were rainbow flags or a parade going down my street, I would know that it was okay, it was an option, and that I had people who would embrace me, even if my own friends and family didn't know how. Recently, there was an incident in Petaluma that I was involved in, that I witnessed with police, and it really opened up a lot of opportunities to have community conversation about safety for people in our communities that are marginalized and traditionally don't feel safe. It's a large conversation that's happening in Petaluma. It's a really important conversation that's happening in our country. And so, you know, it does kind of open up this idea of how do we make sure that we are supporting one another in our communities, whether you're gay, whether you're a person of color. You know, it's important to be having these conversations. If you're interested in supporting Petaluma Pride through volunteering or donating funds, please find us on Facebook at Petaluma Pride, or you can reach us through petalumapride@gmail.com. You spell Petaluma Petaluma. Thank you.
Sounds good.
And we're back.
And we're back. I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are
the Bling Sisters.
And we are coming to you live from the heart of Sonoma County with guest number 102, Joshua Bluegreen Cripps. He's a trumpeter, producer. Oh boy, a man of many talents, that's for sure. So,
Indeed.
All right. So we talked about Petaluma Pride, and all right, you started your first group was called Tin Circus, is that correct?
Yeah. Actually, let me tag one thing onto Petaluma Pride also.
You go ahead.
So we are planning this year to do events probably June through September, and we're going to do, pursuant to CDC guidelines, we are going to do like a beach raid. We're going to do a few things. I won't announce anything now officially, but you know, check out our page, as Hanan said, at Petaluma Pride for more. We're currently planning stuff. So we're going to have some safe events actually this year in person, socially distanced, not unlike the BLM protests last year. We're pretty safely done. And I also wanted to throw in that I also have been sort of recruited to be the director of logistics for Sonoma County Pride. And this is the first time I've actually announced that anywhere. So that has just happened.
Blink is exclusive.
Yes, it is an exclusive. So I am also working with them on some of the stuff they're doing. And I can't say too much, but they're working on a drive-through parade this year. And it's going to be absolutely fabulous. So they're going to have a parade where you get to drive through it, and the displays will be on the side. So that way nobody's at any risk. And
that'll be fun.
On the side. So I can't say much more about that location or anything like that. But we're going to have, with both the prides, we're going to have some very, very cool stuff Mental health will be one of the themes for Sonoma County Pride this year. And I think in particular, just because people need to get out and be around people.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the spirit of it. So
I know
there
my
we go.
granddaughter's been suffering.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
we'll bring her.
Oh yeah, it's hard. I know. And as musicians, I think most of the musicians I know, we're suffering a little bit. Luckily, we have music to play in our off time, and we have Zoom. I've been doing Zoom karaoke shows, which has kept me sane. But anyway, so I wanted to add that to all of that.
Zoom karaoke.
Zoom karaoke.
Right.
Every Saturday night.
That sounds, you know how that sounds? You know what that sounds? That sounds hella NorCal.
Hella NorCal.
That says hella NorCal. And I think that we should visit that.
Oh, yeah. We have a
video. We have a video called Hella NorCal from the Tahoes. You want to tell us a little bit about the Tahoes?
Yeah, so the Tahoes is a ska reggae rock band that I was asked to join in around 2016, or I originally kind of played with them around 2015 and then didn't really commit for a couple years after, I think 2017, it became official. And around the same year, the Tahoes were, with the song you just mentioned, Hella NorCal is one of the songs that was written by Glenn Sauber and the guys, totally genius. And this song actually got us at the High Times Cannabis Cup, where we opened for Sublime, which is now Sublime with Rome. The lead singer passed away in the 90s, but still it's all the same guys except for the singers. So we opened for Sublime, the Wailers, which was Bob Marley's band, and then Fortunate Youth. And that's probably the biggest stage I've ever played on. I've played on some cool festival stages, but that was a really fun stage. And so that's one of, we played all over California though with Tahoes. We toured up to Oregon. It's really opened up some fun doors for us. So
excellent. Well, let's go ahead and roll it.
Tahoes.
Here we go. Hella NorCal.
Okay.
Well, in 1855, before you and me or he were alive, my great uncle saw a better life, and then he found it right here in NorCal. Well, he must have felt a certain elation to want to plant some roots and make a foundation. Now my daughter makes up a seventh generation of us living right here in NorCal. Because we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal. And then we're sipping on some vino that we got in Mendocino. Yeah, we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal. And then we're tipping on some grappa that we got over in Napa. This great big world, and I've seen all kind of girls, but I couldn't wait to get my ass back to NorCal, to the cutest girls in the world. Because we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and we would have been here sooner, but he lives in Petaluma. Yeah, we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and you can hot tub and chill when you were in Forestville. We're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and he lives in Santa Rosa, but nothing rhymes with Santa Rosa. Yeah, we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal. And I know you can't believe it, but I never want to leave it. Oh. Just go outside and breathe 2 lungfuls of air. Breathe out all your worries and your troubles and your cares. Get high up on a mountain and just watch the sun go down. And close your eyes and visualize all the love you feel all around. say hella hella, you say hella hella, he says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, she says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, he says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, she says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, he says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, she says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, he says hella hella, we say hella hella. I say hella hella, you say hella hella, she says hella hella, we say hella hella. NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and I could spend all day just chilling in the South Bay. We're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and there are no saladoos who kick it down in Santa Cruz. Or NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and we get a little cray-cray when we visit the East Bay. We're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and we get a little mental when we visit Sacramento. Yeah, we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and we partake in Nature's Bounty when we visit Humboldt County. Yeah, we're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and me, I'm hella cool 'cause I live in Sebastopol. We're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, and you know that we gotta go. We're on our way to Tahoe. We're NorCal, we're hella NorCal, we're hella NorCal, we're hella NorCal, we're hella NorCal.
Yeah, that was Hella NorCal by the Tahoes. And we have guest number 102 today, Joshua Bluegreen Cripps. And I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are the Bling Sisters. We're coming to you live. And so, all right, let's just continue talking on. We have the Wednesday night big band. Now are you still involved with that?
No, that got shut down real good when the clubs got shut down. Our home was the Big Easy and Hot Monk. I had sold the Hot Monk out 2 years ago, all in pre-sale tickets, and then last year we sold out the Big Easy
Nice.
with the Wednesday night big band on Valentine's Day. And so last year, I believe Valentine's Day was one of the last big shows I did, and then the lockdown came in March. But yeah, they've got a real rich history. We have guys in that group that have played with Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin. The list goes on and on. Yeah, like some real talent. So it's super big honor because I was asked to produce and promote the group, and you know, it was great. And my background's more classical, so I learned a lot about jazz playing with those guys.
So is it jazz trumpet different than? Well, obviously the musical, but is
the trumpet itself different?
No, how you play it. You know, I don't know what's the difference between classical
and no.
jazz.
Yeah, so there is actually a lot more flugelhorn playing involved in a jazz type of setting, which is a bigger, rounder trumpet. It's more mellow sounding. I think Chunk Mangione kind of made that popular in the mainstream. But yeah, so there is a little bit different kind of instruments that might be played within the trumpet family. And but yeah, the playing's definitely different because in the big band there's pretty intricate improv soloing.
Right.
And with my background, I wasn't taught as much. I was kind of taught with a purist classical background, and I wasn't really taught that in my formative years, so I had to pick it up later. And with the improv, it's like you're given a bunch of chords across the page, and there's no notes. And you just have to make it up, and you have to stay within the chord progression.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it can be very intimidating if it's very complicated chord progressions. So it's a very different looking if your background is classical. So I'm proficient at reading and sight reading, music. And so, but I've learned a lot. And also I'm good at, making up hooks for bands. That was something I've been doing since I was young, is making up hooks and crafting them, but just spur of the moment. Playing improv was something that I learned better with the big band. So yeah, we're shut down right now, unfortunately, but hopefully it'll come back soon. It's 17 guys crammed onto the Big Easy stage, and there's just no safe way to do it, blowing horns in each other's faces.
Yeah, and you can't. You could cut little holes in your mask. But
I hope.
We have a few more comments from the audience.
A fair, number of the guys are over 70 years old in the group. Also, that's how they've played with some of the talent they played with, and so they're just extra nervous, extra cautious, and so they're trying to watch everything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's check out these comments from Deborah Fetters. Josh is amazing. I saw the shows when he was a kid.
Oh,
Eli Monique is saying, or Ely? Is it Eli? Congrats,
Ellie, I
Jeff,
think. I'm not
Josh.
sure.
And Daniel Mountain Tuller says the Zoom karaoke shows Joshua hosts are hot 100%. I've been to a few of them, in which I highly recommend to anyone. Besides Tony, Joshua is also one of my BFFs.
Yay! Oh, you got BFFs.
And Crowbar is
Hey.
here. Cool.
Crowbar,
He says
hello,
cool.
darling.
Crowbar, if he says it's cool, it's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool.
He's the epitome of cool.
That is right.
Oh, yeah.
Samantha.
Yeah, so
Samantha says, "Oh my God, I just jumped on the middle of the video. Tahoe is hella dope.
Hella dope.
Hella." And then Cindy Chrysler, Joshua Blue Green is hella amazing. Love him.
Oh,
Hella.
I love you, Cindy.
Red G Man.
I know a handful of those people, and much love back to all of you. Thanks for
Nice.
showing up.
Yeah, it's nice to
Um,
have your friends and everybody watching. So hi.
Some of those people are serious supporters, and they come out to a lot of my shows.
Nice.
They're fans who become friends.
Yeah.
Legitimately speaking. And so just again, the Zoom karaoke is Saturday nights. It's 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And if you want to find out more, go to my page on Facebook, Joshua Blue Green, and go to the artist page. I don't promote it on my personal page. It would clutter it. If I put
Yeah.
that many events every week, it would clutter it up. But they're always, all my events are up at Joshua Blue Green, or Blue Green Entertainment Company is my other page. And so all the events are cloned on both those. And join us this Saturday. Come out and sing. Don't be shy, or come and watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you're still I know there's karaoke shows going on around town. I'm not comfortable producing them yet. Hopefully soon, but for now we're doing it from the comfort of your home, and you can sing, and people like it. It breaks the monotony of your Saturday night.
Nice.
You can do it in your pajamas. You could do it without pants on. Nobody will know.
But you could get dressed up and wear bling.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Why
In fact,
not?
you can get dressed up and
Get dressed up.
What about auto tune? Do you have auto tune? That's the only way I'd be able to sing.
We had somebody download a plugin for his computer that had some kind of auto tune effect, and it was I'm not sure it helped that much. It was a different sort of problem, but but yeah, just come out. Karaoke's for people who can't necessarily sing great. It's not main stage at the festival. It's did you know, I'm sure you both know this, but did you know that making music activates the frontal cortex more than any other activity? And this is in medical PET scans. It lights up the front of the brain. And what that means is it takes you out of your fight or flight, your trauma brain, and it puts you up in the creative brain. It's actually anti-aging. It helps you recreate neural networks. In children, it's like upgrading the computer as they're forming.
With the
And that's
music.
the act of making music, not just listening, more than any other activity by far. It activates
Wow.
the frontal cortex.
Well, what
So
about
do it.
like-
That's what I always tell people.
what about like drumming? Does any type
Yes, making music, the idea
Okay.
of making music, syncing up for whatever reason. I believe drumming would be included also when you're doing rhythms and when you're doing that kind of mental processing. I think probably the key is you're syncing up rhythmically with other people, and so you're using the refined part of your brain in order to sync the rhythm up or the pitch up.
Okay. All right. So
I
almost
think if it's pitch based, it's probably even more so activating, because then you're having to sync up pitch and rhythm, and that's a very refined type of thought. So that's why it's activating the front.
good.
So just do it. Come out and sing.
Do
you
it.
know? Throw
Just
some glitter on.
I don't know about
Throw
that.
some glitter on and come out and sing.
Yeah. It would be sad. It would be sad. All right. So
Okay. So tell us about your classical trumpet.
This is
because we have
Vivaldi.
this Vivaldi concerto for two trumpets.
Oh yeah.
And there's one Josh there. A split screen of two Joshes.
Yeah. I
So-
know. If I have detractors who hated one of me, this is their worst nightmare.
that's right. There's two of you.
So again, Grandma, who paid
I
for
love
a lot
her.
of my
I love your
lessons-
grandma already.
Oh, I know. She's super sweet. She was a teacher and taught me to get straight A's and all that kind of stuff and knuckle down, and taught me
Nice.
kind of some of the discipline I know. She paid for the trumpets, like I said, and this is a piece that she had asked me to play in the past year. And she's a couple pieces actually that I've played. The Corelli Christmas Concerto was dedicated to her. A few of these where she hears these on classical radio and she's like, you could totally do this. And I'm like, I don't know, that's pretty tough. And she's like, I know you could do it. So I sit down and I work for a week or two and then I do it. And this was one of those pieces where I was like, I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of tough. And I'm like, all right, I can do it. So it took a few weeks, but yeah, so I recorded it in my house. I borrowed a microphone. I've since then bought my own studio microphone because I'm making these a lot now.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so this was recorded last year, I believe early summer, and was recorded because Grandma asked me to. So, oh, and the
Nice.
pianist I'd like to add is also a fabulous pianist who's pretty well known in the area. One of the first-rate, first call jazz pianists named John Simon. So huge thanks to John. He actually did this pro bono, which is very, very rare. He doesn't need to do that. And early on in COVID, he was a pet project for both of us. And normally I'd pay him if we were doing it this year, but last year he was willing to just contribute that, and I mean, way outside the call of duty or what's expected. So thanks to John.
Well,
Hey,
let's roll
John,
Vivaldi. Thank
okay.
you, John.
That's-
And Cindy Chrysler says, I love Joshua's grandma. Nana is the best. Let's slip that in there before we roll.
I'm a Nana too.
Because I liked that comment.
Are you?
I like the Nana comment.
Yeah, and I love my
Yeah.
granddaughter.
Thanks.
Okay, here we go.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Look at you, the identical twin.
I know
And
it.
what did you say about it? You were talking about it as we came back.
Oh, what was I saying?
I'm Silver Shells,
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
and we are
the
Bling
Bling sisters.
Sorry, I
We'll fill that awkward silence with something.
yes. All right. So we're just gonna keep moving forward. You're also on the board of directors of the Artist, a nonprofit, the Artist Salon.
Yeah, the Artist Lawn. Yeah. So that's a group that also isn't really producing right now either, and we're looking at doing some outdoor events over the next few months. But this is a group where people can host us, and we will put on entertainment in your home, and we'll provide the entertainment. You provide the guests, and you provide refreshments, and then we do a donation based thing, and then we take the funds from it, and we provide free entertainment for your guests, and then we just do it based on donations, or we do a flat fee. There's a couple different ways that we've done it that works pretty good. So it's a way that we help people host parties in their home, and we bring in first-rate classical musicians, and it's been really fun. It's been super popular, and yeah, we hope to pick that up soon again.
Nice. Well, does your ska reggae band, do you play homes?
We have, yeah, we
Parties?
certainly have. Absolutely. We've done backyard parties. We've done, everything from backyards to huge. I think any rock band will play, any gig if the location's cool and, if there's some compensation, then, nobody's going to turn that down for the most part. I remember even, national touring acts playing, private birthday parties and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to play a backyard party. Just club venues are great and super fun, but it's actually fun to do fun house parties as well. I guess that's kind of redundant. That would follow.
I like house parties.
Yeah.
We have a friend that throws the best house parties. Her name
Oh,
is Shalimar.
man, she does. She just does.
She has the best layout for our house party.
Yeah, absolutely. I have bands, and yeah, if you ever want entertainment, you can certainly reach out to me and the people listening. That's really what I do for a living. You can go to partyevententertainment.com and see the offerings that I have, and it ranges from classical musicians to karaoke and all that kind of stuff. And I love it. I'm actually passionate about it. It's more than, an entrepreneurial thing for me. I think it's obvious. I love it. Like I said, I've been putting on shows since I was 5. So I'm excited at the prospect to help people have a good time.
Right. Right.
It's so what do you see picking up here pretty soon as things start to reopen?
Oh, I think that is what we were talking about a little bit, huh? It's I think that, I do feel optimistic that clubs are going to reopen. And, I was, like I was telling you over the break, I was kind of pessimistic at the end of last year. I think partly out of just fear and, hard to grasp how things were going to get better, just kind of how it looked. But now I'm feeling very optimistic. There's a lot of changes happening. I was actually in the hospital recently with a little pancreatitis flare-up. That's something I was born with. It's actually not lifestyle induced for me. But the doctor who was taking care of me told me that the hospitals are seeing a huge decrease in cases, and he told me that everything is getting way better, regardless of what the media is still saying or not saying. I don't even know. And one of the nurses told me that the traveling nurses are all but gone now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the workload is very diminished. So in spite of, numbers that you might see or whatever, the inside baseball I had from, credible people was that things are going to be improving, and barring that there's not mutations and that kind of stuff. So I think looking at that kind of, inside information and so forth, there's reason to think that we're going to be hopefully having at least more outdoor events. We're going to be having Pride events for sure this year. CDC guidelines are allowing us to do these things. So it's looking really positive. Yeah, I think that the music's going to come back sooner than we had feared.
We had feared.
We had hoped. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be 5 years maybe.
Yeah,
well, that was a bleak outlook.
Yeah, it's been shaky, but I think things are looking up, and I'm hearing more and more live music is being played. And people are wearing their masks and socially distancing. Yeah. So I like masks. I don't have to smell anybody's breath and nobody spits on me. So.
I know.
That's
retain your spittle, sir.
Yes, retain your own spittle.
But, I think that Brewster's is doing live music. I know there's some wineries doing live music. I've been seeing, let's see, I think the Happies who you had on last week, they've got some festival that's coming up. I can't think what it's called. But so they have an event page. I'd encourage people to support that. I don't know those guys personally, but I'm really impressed with their hustle and I like their music.
Yeah.
And Nick actually clicks like on a lot of my stuff. We like each other's stuff and support each other. We have to meet one of these days, but I think we're fans of each other working. Good. And recognize we're both dedicated to the music business. And so, I shout out to Nick Petty with the Happies. Make sure you check them out too. I see their signs all over Sonoma County. They really are doing it in a way. I used to do this with my raves where I would just put flyers everywhere. And that was how I made a name for myself. And I was cutthroat. In those days, I would tear down all the other promo. I would never do this. I would never do this now. But in my early 20s, I was a little crazy that way. And I would tear down everything else and then just cover everywhere with mine. At the JC, I would put 10-foot blocks of my flyers up. So you couldn't miss it at both entrances. And then, they would tear it down and I would put it up. And they would tear it down, I would put it up. Oh, my God.
And you win.
Yeah, I would never do that now. Now I'm all like karma, respect other people and,
Can't we all just get along? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really how I do feel, actually. Indeed. Yeah, I like to support other people in the business I'm in now, and I like to be around those kind of people as well. So I was just a very brief phase when I was like 22 years old.
Oh, we're all brats when we're younger, I'll tell you.
A bit. I was really respectful in every other way. That was just kind of one small thing.
A little rebellion in there.
Yeah. It was just the desire to break through. So I want to throw in, unless you have another question, I want to throw in an interesting factoids that I've never talked about in any interview before.
Oh,
ahead.
yes,
And
the exclusive, the Bling Sisters
it
exclusive.
is, yeah.
Stop
So
the
I was always
presses.
afraid to talk about this. And recently I really realized it's kind of important to share in a lot of ways. And so when I was about 22, I forget my exact age, but in the year 2000, I had been a medical cannabis activist in the late 90s because of the pancreas condition that I had mentioned. And we would take cannabis plants out to the Sonoma County Library and hold space with them and just kind of demystify, and people could come out and see them, because then that, you know, really frightened people, the idea
Right.
that this was happening. It was really actually scary to people.
Yeah.
And which is now kind of funny because, you know, we know hemp and, you know, it's just a plant
Right.
and it works well for cancer and AIDS patients. You don't want your teenager using it. We get it. But for sick people, it really is an effective medicine. And so in 2000, I was coming back from an event I was producing, and I got pulled over, and for whatever reason, the police officer searched me. And I think they knew that I was an activist at that time, because it just seemed, looking back, it seemed too odd the way it all played out.
Right.
But so he found, I believe, about an ounce of cannabis on me at the time. And I said, officer, I have my paperwork right here. I had legitimate medical paperwork from my doctor. Even Kaiser Permanente, way before they would do that, had given me paperwork back when that was unheard of, because of the legitimacy of my pancreas situation. And he said, I don't believe in medical marijuana. And it had been the law for 5 years or 4 years at that point.
Right.
It was Health and Safety Code 11362.5. And he said, I don't believe in medical marijuana. And it's funny because his car said law enforcement on it, and this was the law.
Right. He has no right
Yeah.
to override what the law actually says.
So what happened?
You know, I was raised super conservative, really clean cut, and I just never had even considered that a police officer would do that kind of. I mean, I was very naive. I just was blown away that a moral police officer would do such a thing. I just couldn't believe it. And I was like trying to show him my scar on my stomach from 2 surgeries. And he's like, don't show me, you're, you know, homophobic even. It was just weird. And so I took the case to court, and the local activists, you know, the older hippies who had been doing this for a while, kind of took me under the wing. And I won the second court case ever for medical cannabis in north of San Francisco. I was also being mentored by Dennis Perrone, who had created the law, Health and Safety Code 11362.5, the Compassionate Use Act of 1996. And he was one of my mentors in all of this because of the notoriety I had gotten. And actually my roommate was on the jury of the first, later roommate, somebody I knew, was on the jury of the first precedent also. So we somehow were involved in the first 2 precedents, and it was just the craziest thing. But so at any rate, because of the stigma against cannabis and medical cannabis, I haven't wanted to taint my family-friendly image for a lot of years. And I know I've lost friends over my lifetime because of my activism. And I've had people just walk away from me in younger years, especially. And, for being gay, or, I've lost a lot of friends in my 20s for being gay or being a cannabis activist. And I really believed what I was doing was the right thing. It wasn't an excuse to party. It was nothing like that.
Right.
They were AIDS and cancer patients who have suffered immensely. And I believed that they had the right to obtain this medicine without being harassed by the police. And, even up until 3 or 4 years ago, parents were being jailed and their kids taken away by CPS for giving their kids CBD oil.
It helps
CBD
seizures.
oil has no psychoactive effects.
No THC in it.
They don't know, they're afraid.
And this stops seizures better than any pharmaceutical with no side effects. It's safer than drugs for seizures for many kids. And the parents were being jailed.
Well, it's big pharma. It's big pharma wanting to have control of everything.
Now, it is. So I want to say one other thing. I actually don't even use cannabis at this point, but I still am a believer and an activist. I've recently discovered that it was adding to some of my symptoms and that kind of stuff. But the final thing I'll say about the whole cannabis jag is there's a special on Netflix called Weed the People, and it shows the research that's being done that the cannabis kills cancer cells. And I first knew about this in 2004. I studied pre-med when I was young. And
we're going to have to talk.
Yeah, UC Davis was doing research on cancer, and the FDA told them they had to get rid of the research. And I first found out about that when I was a student at Sonoma State. So now this information's finally getting out, and it's on Netflix at Weed the People. So
Weed the People.
Wonderful.
I
And
wanted
you-
to share that here with you.
You also said you wanted to bring up a special friend of yours, a woman who has CBD oil. You wanted to give her a plug?
Yes, yeah. So recently I had a mutual friend introduce me to somebody named Beth. And I work with Cincy Media, which is the nation's second largest pro-cannabis lifestyle magazine. I'm a media executive at this magazine as of late. And we do networking and marketing and advertising and all sorts of stuff with our markets. And cannabis is now making more money in Oregon than alcohol. So this is big business. It's an essential business. It's growing right now. It is not going away. And so if anybody would like to reach the cannabis markets, that's another thing that I do right now is I'm a media executive at CincyMag.com.
Okay.
And for very low rates, you can get advertising and reach. Our click-through rates are double up to 10 times that of Google Ads for this niche. I mean, very solid numbers, and we've got all the data. So through all of this, I met somebody named Beth Buckley recently at mj4meds.com, mj4meds.com. And, you know, I was trying to sell her some advertising for CincyMag.com. And she gave me all these samples. And I've tried a lot of CBD products. I don't do THC anymore, but I do CBD. It seems to work better for me. And her products have really, really impressed me. So, you know, I told her I'd like to, you know, kind of do a sponsorship thing with her. And she was agreeable to it. If she would keep me supplied with her CBD, because I really like it. And I've bought a lot of CBD over the years. This is probably the strongest CBD I've ever tried. It's made by hippies in Berkeley.
Hippies
you
in
know,
Berkeley.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's her words, not mine. And it's just really the legit, you know, CBD oil. Now, to be clear to everybody, CBD does not get you high. It's not psychoactive. It is relaxing to the body. It's antispasmodic for the colon, and it's extremely anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
And it's an anti-nausea medicine.
It is. It does a lot of things, and it's good
that's
for pain.
that's really good for chemotherapy patients. I have a
Correct.
friend going through chemotherapy right now.
Yeah, that's what we fought for medical cannabis for. Yeah, exactly. I know, and I've worked with a lot of those people. So anyway, her topical CBD, you know, I can put on my belly, and if I'm having pancreatitis pain, it actually helps even with that kind of pain, which is outrageous. Back pain. I put some on Nana recently. She was having some hip pain. And she's real skeptical and really wary. She doesn't want to do anything that's going to mess her up or alter her or anything like that.
Right.
And she trusted me, and she was really blown away at how it helps the pain in her hip. She's got a lot of hip pain. So Beth has the face cream also I was telling you about.
Yeah,
that I've been
that's
using,
what I want to
and
try.
it's like super anti-aging. It's crazy. I've already gotten comments that my skin is like younger and healthier and stuff from family. And I'm like, it's the CBD. It's crazy.
Nice.
Whoa, I can.
Really
Nice.
effective.
We're
So
going to have
anyway.
to try that. The Bling sisters will
We
try,
are.
experiment, and report.
We will, and yes, we'll report back.
Yeah, it's super good, legitimately so. Like, I wouldn't want products for free if they didn't really work for me. So I'm happy to sponsor her or have her sponsor me. It's mj4meds.com.
mj4meds.com.
I might have to write that
Yeah.
down. MJ4Meds.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we
We're
have
gonna wrap
one
it
final video, and I need a shower beer. I need a shower beer.
I need a shower
just
beer. What?
Need a shower beer.
Okay, everyone.
I just need it.
We're going to go off on this video. I want to say good night, everyone. I love you. And once I'm done, then we can talk about the video and then just kind of go out. But stay tuned every Thursday night at 6 p.m. We have Banana Lowell Levine coming on, Billy Peterson, John Otis, James Nash, and Annie
That's Lowell
Simpson.
Levenger.
Lowell Levenger. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah,
I did.
You're missing a letter in there.
Levenger. Okay.
Lowell Levenger is going to be here, and is known as Banana from the Youngbloods.
All right.
And that should be excellent.
All right. So now tell us about shower beer.
Yeah, so here's another song by the Tahoes, which is one of the bands I play in once again. And so this is something, I don't know who came up with the idea of shower beer, but it predates my time with them again. This was a song that they had written but never produced until last year. We produced this and we produced it at the JC with Jake. I'm blanking on his name. He's the recording teacher at the junior college in Petaluma. Oh God. Anyway, Jake, whatever his last name is. So
Hey,
Shower
Jake.
Beer.
Shout out
Jake
to
Doe.
Jake.
Jake
Oh,
Doe.
I'm so
yeah.
bad with names. It's my one weakness in business. Is
Me too. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's the one area I just have to try to work on. Oh, Stillman. Jake Stillman. Yes, Jake. So Jake Stillman produced this. He did a really fine job. A shower beer, as the song will kind of explain, he says, "Woman, I really need a shower beer." And I guess it's when you drink a beer in the shower. I've personally never done it, but apparently it's a thing. You can Google it, and we've now discovered that there's other people who do it. The Tahoes originally thought of it and never realized that other people loved it too, but it makes sense, you know?
Drinking
Pretty
shower
nice to
drinking
beer.
beer in the
So
shower.
it's drinking a beer in the shower. And the lead singer, Glenn Sauber, actually has tips that he shared with us at rehearsals on the kind of beer that works best in the shower. And I forget if it's a can. I think it's a can. I forget what it is.
Oh
But-
my.
He'll-
That
At
is
any
so
rate, so-
funny.
Will it be in the video? Will he show us the can
I
of
think
beer?
I think so. I think it's a can. That's what I was trying to remember. I think it's a can at the beginning. So there's a Lagunitas can, I think, at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
we're hoping to get Lagunitas to sponsor us for this video also.
Yeah, that'd be
Excellent.
great.
Well, let's say
So we're
good night
gonna
then and roll it.
Good night.
Thank you both
Good night.
so much for
It's-
having me. I had a great time.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
it's
you
been
for
wonderful.
coming
Thank
on.
Joshua.
Thank you.
Let's try to plan a date where I cut you in 3.
All right.
Okay,
I like
let's
that.
do it.
And then we'll do it live. We'll have a
Yeah.
magic show.
It'll
Okay,
be
we can
fun.
do a live or pre-tape either way. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right,
All right.
let's go
Bye,
ahead.
everybody. I love you.
and
Bye.
Roll them.
See you next.
Oh, woman, I say I need this shower beer. Oh, woman, I say I need this shower beer. I'm not so tight as I appear, and it's not severe, and I will persevere, but right now, God, I need this shower beer. My muscles aching, my bones are sore, my left ear don't quite work no more, and this thing with my fingers really sort of itch. And the dog just broke my favorite mug, and the kids just pooped all over the rug, and the boss's wife is acting like a bitch. And the cell phone screen's got a huge crack, and the team just lost our quarterback, and the garbage got obliterated by raccoons. And the van just started smelling funny, and if it's your brother, he owes me money, and I think I gotta see a dentist soon. So woman, I say I need this shower beer. Oh woman, I say I need this shower beer. I'm not so tight as I appear, and it's not severe, and I will persevere, but right now, God, I need this shower beer. So woman, I say I need this shower beer. Oh woman, I say I need this shower beer. I'm not so tight as I appear, and it's not severe, and I will persevere, but right now, God, I need this shower beer. My muscles ache and my bones are sore, and my left ear don't quite work no more, and this thing on my fingers really starting to itch. And the kid just broke my favorite mug, and the dog just pooped all over the rug, and the boss's wife is acting like a bitch. And the cell phone Bluegreen's got a huge crack, and the team just lost their quarterback, and the garbage got obliterated by raccoons. And the band just started smelling funny, and if I see your brother, he owes me money, and I think I got it. So woman, I say I need this shower mirror. Oh woman, I say I need this shower mirror. I'm not so tight as I appear. It's not severe, I will persevere. But right now, God, I need this shower beer. Woman, I say I need this shower beer.